Our next guest on Central Valley Real Estate is John Shore from the Community Housing Council.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Now, is that a government agency?
No, we're a private nonprofit.
Okay.
Started back in the mid-'90s by realtors, by lenders, by title escrow people, appraisers, people who knew the importance of owning a home and wanted to put a nonprofit out there that would help people become mortgage ready.
Mortgage ready.
Yeah.
So you help people get ready to have a
We
mortgage?
do. A lot of times people want to buy a home, but they've got some sort of barrier. It could be lack of income. It could be lack of job stability. A lot of times it's credit issues. They don't have the score that's needed. And sometimes they just don't have the knowledge. They're just not ready to buy a home yet. So we get them ready, and sometimes it takes just a few weeks. Sometimes people come to us and they are ready and didn't even know they're
Didn't
ready.
know they're ready.
And then we try to hook them up with a good realtor, hook them up with a good lender, and give them the education. We're a HUD-approved agency, so we offer an 8-hour HUD-approved first-time home buyers class. They get a certificate. And the nice part about that certificate, it does allow them to get or apply for funds through the city or county, and some state funds are available, to down payment assistance
Down payment
issues.
assistance,
So we do good things.
So how do people find out about you? How do you get your clientele?
Well, since we're HUD approved, HUD does send us a lot of people. A lot of the real estate community knows about us, so they refer people over. And we're really about the only game in town right now that does HUD approved housing counseling. So we get people coming to us from all over the place, and we really service an area from Modesto down to Bakersfield.
So really, the mission is to help people get ready to buy a home.
Yeah, our tagline, if you notice there on my business card, says moving people into homes. And that's how we started. And of course, you and I well know what happened about 2007 with the industry. So we quickly moved our focus into helping people with foreclosure issues. And we got a huge grant through the National Foreclosure Mitigation Counseling Program, which allowed us to help literally thousands of families retain home ownership.
Okay.
And we are still doing some of that, so I would like to take this opportunity to invite viewers to give me a call. Don't ask for me, that kind of slows the process down, so call the office, let them know that you're struggling with that house payment. We have weekly classes that they have to attend. It's an orientation class. And then from there they can go into one-on-one counseling. And, Michael, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, are lenders still giving loan modifications? And the answer is yes, they're giving them more often, and they're much better modifications than we saw, let's say, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. Now, what about somebody who's behind? Can you help them catch up? Do you have money for that?
Well, it's not our money, but it is money that's available to California residents. You may remember a number of years ago, the federal government gave California $2 billion to start a program because we were the hardest hit state in the nation.
Is that Keep Your Home California?
And that is exactly what came of that, the Keep Your Home California program. And that's a program that's really in 4 parts, but one of the parts that's very popular right now is the reinstatement program, where a homeowner, and boy, I should have done my homework here, but I believe that they can get up to $50,000 to reinstate that loan. It's not a gift. They do have to stay in the house. I believe it's 5 years, but it is forgiven if they stay
After
in the
5
house
years,
and, of course, keep the payment on time. So there's some great programs, and people don't know about these programs. Another one that comes under the Keep Your Home California program is a unemployment program. So if you're on unemployment and unable to make your house payment, the state will make your house payment for you up to 18 months.
Okay.
And that's a great program.
It's kind of an extra unemployment benefit. You get your
Exactly,
unemployment
and-
check and they make your payment.
Right, and again, you've got to stay in the house and make your payment on time once you're able to do that. But most people are, and unfortunate that people have to become unemployed, but that's part of life right now.
Yes.
And we continue to struggle with that.
Okay. So how do they start? If somebody's thinking of buying a house and they just don't know even where to start, could they call you? Is
Oh,
that
absolutely,
a good path
yeah.
for that?
Yeah, many lenders will pre-qualify a client, and I spent 20 years, more like 30 years in the lending industry, and I did a lot of loan pre-qualifications. But in the reality of it, if I'm working for a bank, I only have so many products.
Right.
And there may be a guy down the street that has a product that would allow you to buy a home today But if you come to me, you don't know about that.
Right.
Because you don't usually send somebody to your competition.
That's right.
But as a housing counseling agency, we don't have anybody in particular that we're trying to funnel business to. So when you come to us, one of our jobs is to know about all these different programs and to hook people up with the right program that can get them into home ownership. And we try to do a pretty good job of it. And you'd be surprised how many people come to us who have been turned down for a loan, and it's just a matter of giving them a few other options and telling them who to call, that they call me 6 weeks later and they say, hey, I'm in escrow,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to buy a house, I'm in escrow. And that's the kind of thing that keeps me working even at my age, because you know what it's like to have somebody light up when
Yeah.
they know they're going to be buying a first home.
We have this situation here in the Tower District where our studios are located, where people switch jobs. They're waiters, and for 6 months they're here, for a year they're there, and they're finding now that it counts on being in one industry.
Right.
You don't have to have had the job.
That's right.
As long as you're in the industry.
Well, and you bring a good point up with that, because so many times people think that you have to be on the job, same job, for 2 years, and that's not the case at all. As long as you've got a 2-year history of the same type of work.
Same industry or
Yeah, and that works. And lending has gotten a little tougher, but it's more tough on the loan people than it is on the borrower.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's been a lot of new laws regarding disclosure, which I'm sure you've heard about, and all my friends that are still in lending, I hear nothing but complaints about how difficult it's become and continue to become. But that should never let a potential homeowner be discouraged from trying, because there's plenty of money out there for home loans, and the lenders are making lots of loans right now.
Is there anybody who's restricted from buying a house based on age or something like that?
Well, they better not be,
Better not be,
because
it's the same.
we have fair housing laws, fair lending laws that prohibit that sort of thing. And that's another function of our agency. Many times we will talk to clients, and if we believe that they've been a victim of fair housing or fair lending, we work very closely with several government agencies, both the city agencies, county agencies. We even have a contact in the Bay Area with a legal aid organization that's strictly for housing advocates. Also work very closely with the California Attorney General's office.
So if anybody's thinking of buying a house and they're not sure if they're qualified or where to start, I guess they would call the Community Housing Council of Fresno. Just call the office. This is John Shore, the executive director. Don't worry about asking for him. In my office, people always want to ask for me, and I have to. Okay, I'm going to put you in touch with the person that just answered the phone, because that's who knows about that one thing. But just call the Community Housing Council. We have the number up there. Is it 221-6919?
That's correct. Yeah.
And is there a website they could check out?
There is. It's chcfresno.org, and we have a lot of good information on there. And it tells about some of the other services that we do. One of the things that I am very proud of, because I was one of the founders of this nonprofit, and I was one of the ones who came up with this particular idea. But we raise money each year, and at a fundraiser, comes up in May. And at that fundraiser, we raise money just to give to first-time home buyers as our own down payment assistance.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it is neat.
Very
And
cool,
what
yeah.
makes it unique is it's not a silent second. It's not something that has to be paid back. It's a gift, just like your
Get
grandmother
some-
gave you a
yeah.
gift to buy the house. And right now, our limit is $2,000 per client. We have gone as high as $3,000 before. But about 3 years ago, when things were very good for us, we actually gave out $72,000, which allowed 22 families to buy a home who otherwise
Wow.
would not have been able
Couldn't
to
get
complete
one.
the transaction. So
It's a big step, you get, it's just 3% down or whatever. Oh, then there's closing costs.
Uh-huh.
And then there's moving costs after you buy the
That's
house.
right.
The costs go on and on and on. And
It does,
it's
yeah.
not like renting an apartment stuff when you got to come up with the first and last and deposit.
Mm-hmm.
But buying a house is a pretty big chunk. But once they get in, sometimes it's cheaper than the apartment living.
Absolutely, and the tax benefits of being a homeowner. One of the things that we also do, which a lot of people don't even know exist, is called post-purchase counseling. So once you get into that home, obviously you probably learned about budgeting and the importance of making payments on time. That's what got you into the home. But after you get into the home, sometimes people get a little carried away. They try to do too many improvements too fast, or maybe something does fall apart that has to be taken care of right away. And all of a sudden they find that they're having a little trouble making ends meet.
Yeah.
So we offer that counseling so they can come back in and we can sit down with them and teach them a little bit about the stuff they have to have versus the stuff that they want to have.
Well, maybe it'd be a good idea for some people before they buy a home, just go and talk to you guys, get that class. I
Yeah.
think that'd be valuable.
Well, and we offer a free 1-hour evaluation, which really will tell somebody if they're mortgage ready or not. And if they're not, then we can lay out for them a part of our financial management course, sometimes we call it coaching, where we lay out for them how long we think it's going to take for them to become mortgage ready. And I got to tell you something, it's very rewarding when you have somebody who follows your guidance, follows it to the T, and then when you tell them, hey, you're ready, you're
ready.
now ready.
I know what to do. Well, they're signaling me we're way out of time. I could talk for another half hour.
Yeah,
Is there any
well-
big thing we should add before?
Oh, boy, I don't know what it would be other than the fact that I encourage people to make sure if they're struggling with their house payments, it is illegal for anybody to charge for any type of foreclosure education or servicing or any of that kind of stuff. So don't become a victim of a scam. Give us a call, 221-6919. We're open Monday through Friday. We do our classes on Saturday, and some of our classes are actually done in the evening as well.
Very good, so-
And English and Spanish.
Something for everyone
yeah,
there.
There truly is.
John Shore with the Community Housing Council. We'll have more from Central Valley Real Estate right after this.